Well, the story starts since second Intifada, 2000s, like 12 years ago, and the settlers start to or tried to afford him to buy our shops and a house, and the first afford it was $6 million, and then my father told the settler that I don't need to sell. Then he told him it's $6 million is a big number. My father said I don't want to sell. I said okay, and after that, you know, from rich people in Australia, I don't want to tell names. They send lots of people to my father and try also make guarantee negotiation to buy, the shop and house. And two men came to my father and they told him that we're from that man communities. He sent us to you to buy your shop. My father told him that there's a settler afford us $6 million. How much you want to afford? They tell him $30 million. So then my father said no, it's not a good price. My house and shop cost a lot. And then they told him, what about $40 million? So they came up, they came up $10 million, just like that, So they tell him, what about $40 million? And my father said, no, it costs a lot. So they tell him, that's our last afford. We'll not afford more. $40 million, it's a lot for us. If you don't want, that's okay. So my father said, no, I don't want. And after that, since like 4 or 5 years after this court, it was it was holiday for Jewish. So in their holidays, we're not allowed to open shops and house. We're not allowed to be here. So my father was behind this door right here, and he was open that window. And from the window, he look at people, like he counted customers, how many customers, if he's allowed to open. And two men came to him. And they told him, are you Abdulraouf Al-Mohtaseb? So they give him the full name. He said, yeah, it's me. What do you want? He said, that man, one of them said that we want to buy your home. He said, okay, welcome. So he let him to enter to the house. But they tell us soldiers came to, control or, to protect them. So they enter with him and they say, what about $100 million? My father said, wow, it's a big number. I can't refuse this deal. Let's make it. But first, let me show you the house and then we'll buy it. They said, no, we're gonna buy it anyway. We don't need to see. We just want it. My father said, no, let me show it to you and then let's make the deal. So they enter in the house, and they ask him, okay, we liked it, we want to buy. So my father told them, $100 million? Okay, I'll make the deal. But first, you see this wall right here? They said yes. He said, each stone in this wall cost $100 million. They have enough money for it? They said, no, we don't. He said, it goes like that if you want. He said, no, we don't want to buy it.
So he said, each stone cost $100 million.
$100 million.
And there's a lot of stones here.
Yeah, it's a house. So they said, we don't want to buy. My father asked them, okay, let me ask you a question. They said, welcome. He said, my house, total, it costs a couple of thousands. Why you want to buy for it? Why you want to pay for it millions? They said it's Abraham place and we want to buy near Abraham and religious reasons. I don't know if they really religious. But anyway, they said because it's Abraham place. My father told them, okay, I respect that, but I feel and I believe that I'm Abraham's son and grandson too. So I'll never sell my father place for you if you believe that your father is Abraham. So you buy your father place, you want me to sell my father place? I will never do it. So they say, okay, you don't want to sell. They go out and they tell the soldiers and the settlers around here, hundreds of settlers around here. So they tell the settlers that he refused $100 million. that man is stronger than stronger than I imagined. Leave that man by himself. Don't tease him. He's really strong. He refused $100 million and he needs a couple of thousands.
So why is this place so important to Palestinians?
You know, about me, I believe it's my land, so I don't need to sell it. Like, for example, you believe your land is just a house, but I believe my land is home, life, love, spirit, everything. Maybe you could sell it and buy lots better than this house, but you could not buy any kind of happiness if you have billions, you know? Happiness doesn't cost by money.
الذين قالوا من الناس من الناس قد جمعوا إيمانا وقالوا حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل انقلبوا إلى الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Yes.
I grew up in Jerusalem during the Second Intifada. There were a lot of bomb attacks, stuff like that. People, I guess, on both sides always look for the excuse why to go on with the current condition. Most Israelis have never stepped a foot in the West Bank. Most Israelis never met Palestinians, even for an argument. They never sat down for a coffee. Most Israelis have no idea what's going on behalf of their names 25 minutes from their house. So when you don't have any idea of what's going on there, how can you resist to it? How can you support it or not support it? How can you be against it? Yes, I don't think people don't care. I think people have no idea. So I grew up, my parents' house in Jerusalem was on a road called Bethlehem Road. The road next to me is Hebron Road. Bethlehem Road leads to Bethlehem, pretty much. And Hebron Road, after about, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you actually get to Hebron. At least pretty much the historical road changed. And I've never been to Bethlehem, I've never been to Hebron until the army. I always tell that when I was 15, during the Second Intifada, my school was in Jerusalem. I think it was Milano city invited Palestinians from Bethlehem and Palestinians from Jerusalem for like a week vacation in Milano, rest from all the violence and stuff, which is very nice. It was so stupid for me because I had to go to Milano to meet children that lives in Bethlehem, actually, literally 15, 20 minutes from my house. So I think it just shows how the occupation is so close, but you have no idea what's going on there.
So the checkpoint, is it's one aspect of it.
It's the prevention of movement. That's the thing. Is that people cannot go and open their shops because of security reasons. Or people don't live at their houses anymore because it's almost impossible to live there. Either because of settlers' violence, either because there can be curfews, or the street below them will be just closed, so it will be almost impossible to get there with a car, or with food, with gas if you need to, or kitchen. So, of course, the checkpoints are a horrible thing, but it's just one aspect of a much more bigger picture, which is the Israeli control in what used to be the city center of Hebron. Like in Hebron, you don't need to be mean to Palestinians, but you prevent them from going out of their own front door to step on a street. They are not allowed to go because they're Palestinians. You know, for me, one of the times that I think I really felt the most ashamed was when a Palestinian kid, like this height, came to me, asked me for some food. And I gave him like a few candies I had. And then afterwards, I felt ashamed. You know, what am I like a social worker now that I need to give him food? And then we'll arrest his dad like in a few hours? And what kind of logic is that?
طلع انا عايش في محمد. انا مرات عن جد لما اجي على الخليل بقول انا بقول عايش انا في بيت لحم. يعني ما فيش مش زي عيشتكم انتم. باجي كل ما اجي على الخليل وخاصه لما اجي عندكم محاوطين بالمحاصيل والجر. كيف لا اليوم صامت؟ يعني بتفكر شيء يوم تطلع من الخليل ولا كيف؟ بعرفش كيف العيشه دي. يعني انا باجي على الخليل مره في الاسبوع، مرتين في الاسبوع مرات، وبقول لما اجي ساعه ساعتين بقول واو محصين. بقعد اعمل هم محصين وتشيك بوينتس وابراهيم وانت عارف شو انتم قدام.
يمكن بالنسبه لك تطلع تحس الناس هذول مش طبيعيين، انه كيف بيقدروا يصمدوا هيك. مزبوط.
انا بعرف انه نوع من الصمود، بس كيف انت حاسس؟
صدقا حاسس بنقص. حياتنا مش بالمره مش طبيعيه، لكن بدك تجبر على الوجع. يعني
لو مثلا معك مصاري بتفكر تطلع من الخليل ولا بتضلك في الخليل؟
يمكن سمعت مؤخرا في مخيم اليرموك، سمعت الغني والفقير هناك مدعوس عليه.
مزبوط.
معك مصاري فيش معك مصاري
نفس
الشيء. معي مصاري ما فيش معي مصاري بدي تضل في هالبلاد. بس ممكن مصاري تسهل لي العيشه هون، بس مصاري مش راح تكون وسيله اني اطلع من هون. فيش وسيله اطلع من هون نهائيا. ممكن تصح لي فرصه انه اطلع اسافر تشيلينج برا، بس هون
ترجع الخليل. يعني
هقول لك شغله صدقا، حتى لما بطلع من الخليل مشان قاعد هون مشتاق للخليل. خيي مشتاق لها. بصير مرة تخيل قديش الوضع صعب هناك
بس طلع برضه هون الواحد بنسى الدنيا شوي، بس في الاخر بترجع الخليل.
بلدك جوا هون قلبك بتقدرش، رغم انه انت عايش في بلدك، بس الخليل بالنسبه لي كل شيء.
بس هي كيف صفت شال التعويض؟ يعني مثلا انه
مش تعويض، لا اوعى
تصحى من النوم عادي الجنود تروح تفتح المحل الجنود في وجهك، تروح تسكر الجنود في وجهك.
اسمع، اوعى تفكر انه انا لما بكون صاحي من النوم وبطلع اروح افتح الدكان تبعت ابوي واشوف الجندي انه أنا اوكي هاي هي حياتي وانا خلص اوكي. لا انا مش اوكي، بس هذا فرض علي. ولساتني مش عايشه طبيعي. اوعى تفكر انه عايش طبيعي في
ذات نورمال لايف
نهائيا. بس فلسطين والخليل كل شيء. طيب
بس قد الساعة عندك هلا؟
الساعة 2:15.
جوعت؟
جعان والله.
رحت نسوي باربيكيو.
يلا نشوي النيش.
بدنا نص ساعة والله.
يلا امشي.
ليتس جو.
ننزل على تحت؟
ننزل.
يلا اوكي. يلا.
محمد عساف ابو العسف يطير الطاير.
يلا يا طير الطاير يا رايح عالديري، تحميك عيوني وتصونك عين الله، والله يا مسافر شعلاني هالغيري، فلسطين بلادي حلوة يا ما شاء الله.
بلد اسمها سوفيا في الأردن، بضلك رايح هذا غاد جوردان ريزورت شايفها؟ الشط هذا، وفي شارع بضلك رايح منه على العقبة كلها طريق البحر الميت. فهي الأردن هاي كلياتها. بضل الجبال، طبعا الأردن بدك تطلع طلوع، كيف بدنا نروح هنا على بيت كلها طلوع، بتطلع من الأردن على جبال الأردن وننتهي في عمان، ساعة تقريبا 25 دقيقة. فينا تروح على العقبة 3 ساعات 350 كيلومتر. شايف هذيك ولا الأردن؟
أنا
بتروح يوم.
مفرز.
اليوم بتروح من الأيام عن جد تأجر سيارة وسوق شغل بجنن أحلى سواق بجنن.
قتلون عيون السود يا لما لحظوا قتلوني عيون السود قتلون عيون السود قتلوني ما يحضوا قتلوني عيون السود وبني عطيك صبر من اليوم صبرا محروسي بسيوف الموت بني عطيك صبر من اليوم
We can enter this.
Only
Just
this.
the camera.
Only camera.
Camera, no problem.
Can we leave this here?
Yes, yes.
Oh, then it's okay.
We'll take it.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Hebron in Arabic is called Al-Halil. What does Al-Halil mean? Al-Halil means the beloved of Allah. Al-Halil, they're referring to Ibrahim, to Abraham. In the Islamic tradition, Abraham is called Ibrahim Halil Allah, the beloved of Allah. So according to Islamic tradition, Abraham is also buried in the tomb of the patriarchs, and hence what we call in the Jewish tradition, the tomb of the patriarchs, or Ma'arat HaMachpelah, the cave of Machpelah. Ma'arat HaMachpelah in Arabic is called Al-Haram Al-Ibrahimiyya, the Abrahamic Mosque, is that it's the longest standing holy place in the Jewish religion. Here we had the Temple of Jerusalem, but the temples were destroyed. The walls that we see now were just the outer retaining walls, but the tomb of the patriarchs was never destroyed. The building that we see now was added onto. So this is what makes it very important for the Jewish faith. And also the love that Islam has for the prophets of the Bible are also mentioned in the Quran. So hence the prophets that are buried in the tomb of the patriarchs make it as well a holy place for Islam. Because Abraham, in fact, Ibrahim for Muslims is considered the father of the Islamic faith. The first one to testify on the oneness of God, the father of monotheism. So the irony is that here we are in Jerusalem and also in Hebron, which is considered a sister city to Jerusalem. The children of Abraham, Jews and Muslims, Israelis and Palestinians, locked in a conflict over the same holy land, the same holy cities of Jerusalem and Hebron, and particularly over the same holy sites, the Temple Mount in Jerusalem and the tomb of the patriarchs. And yet it has such a symbol and possibility to be a place of peace, because the tomb of the patriarchs is the only active mosque and active synagogue in the world that I know of, except for maybe the tomb of the prophet Samuel also is an active mosque and a synagogue, but it's the same time. But yet there's this division when you go in the building there between a Jewish entrance and a Muslim entrance.
After the Israeli settlers in the old city knew about his story, they keep calling him the crazy man. Look at the crazy man. He missed the chance of $100. He said, to be crazy man, not to be a thief, not to be a spy, not to be a bad man. I prefer to be not by you.
ولما اليهود اصلا عايشين مع العرب كاخوه، كانت اليهوديه تردع العربي والعربيه تردع اليهودي.
They used to be a Hebronite Jews lived together here, and we witnessed this very well and very together into this area. And we hope so that these days will come back again to live peacefully together.
وبنتامل ترجع الايام هذه.
We hope so these days will come back.
يا عبود تعال عبود تعال. Do you have any questions, maybe? Yeah. Do you have any questions in your mind about what? Talking about likewise. Yeah.
And no more offers, I think. I don't think $101 million.
ليش يردوا علي؟ لا هات نعيش بسلام وعيش والله بتنازلكم على الغرف ننام مع بعضنا كعائله واحده.
Let's live together peacefully better than 100 million.
I don't need money. I love peace, not need money.
Yeah, like you can come and live in this house without paying me any money. You can come and live with me. It doesn't need to be.
What? Because what money? My father died, he not take anything. My brother died, he not take anything. Because what money?
You pass away, there is no money, there is no meaning for money.
أنا بتأمل، إحنا بنتأمل قلوب شعوب الأرض كلها بتساعد الشعب الإسرائيلي والشعب الفلسطيني على إنهم يجيبوا السلام الصح.
He sent a message for you that he had a call.
وأكثر شيء الشعب الفلسطيني لأنه شعب محاصر.
And a request from you to help the Palestinians and also the Israelis to have peace and to make peace.
يحببوا الناس ببعضهم.
As much to get people in love or to get people respect themselves. And he said that please, you should show and you should talk about the Palestinian case wherever you are. Go back, and this is his message.
ما تحط الحواجز، حط المحبة.
Don't put checkpoints, obstacles. You have to put love. You have to put trust.
وهذه الأنبياء اللي اجت كلها عليه سيدنا إبراهيم، سيدنا عيسى، وسيدنا موسى، وسيدنا محمد عليه.
And this is the message of all prophets, not my message also from all the respected people here in this area. Peace should be in this.
هذه أرض الأنبياء.
This is the land of the prophets.
What changed for me very dramatically how I see Israel-Palestine, the occupation, the conflict was me being there. Me being there as a soldier, me being a part of, the depression of Palestinian, me being a part of the occupation as an active part. So for me, what changed it was what I did as a soldier. So I was just like the most regular soldier. I wasn't a commander or anything. We've been there for, I think, in February from 2008 for about 5-6 months in Hebron. So just shifts, patrols, guarding, doing arrests at night, going to people's houses, Palestinians' houses, what we call making our presence felt. Like the army's idea is as long as we control a civilian population, those people doesn't want to be controlled, we need to remind them that we are here. So that means you go into people's houses in the middle of the night, random houses, the most regular people, and you just show your presence. That means you go, you do a search maybe, you interrogate people, you can even take pictures of people, they would be frightened. You throw everything away at the end. But the idea is to show that you are there. I never liked it. I think most people don't enjoy it. But still, I think the most problematic thing that happens to you as a soldier, but as a human being, is that you get used to it. I mean, after a while, you stop caring about Palestinians, you stop caring about settlers, you stop caring about Israel. The only thing you care about is going back to sleep. And your shifts are like 6 hours every day, twice a day, that you have to guard. And then for 17 days, then you get back home for a few days to rest. Like that, multiplied by 6 months, you get very, very numb for what's going on. So you don't really care after a while about Palestinians. You don't like it. I didn't like it, but you just don't care about them. In a way, they're not human beings. They're just another thing in your job. We went into one of like a neighborhood. in Hebron, Palestinian neighborhood, and we started mapping the house. You always go into people's houses that you know for absolutely sure that they are not involved in any kind of terrorism, attacked soldiers, attacked Israelis. And once we went into the house, before that, my officer told me, bring your camera with you. He tells me, start taking pictures of people. You know, these portraits of people. We want to put it together with everything we wrote, so we'll pass it on to the Shabak, intelligence, security forces, and so on. So I'm starting taking pictures of Palestinians at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock at night, about 20, 25 pictures at the end of the night. You know, when the story starts now, in a way, because the next day afterwards, I expect that someone will come and ask for what I think is a very important intelligence material. No one does, no one asks anything. I go back to my officers again the day after, tell them, guys, don't you want what I have, all the pictures? And said, don't worry, someone will come. I wait another month. At the end, I just erased the pictures. And I found out that my officer just threw everything he wrote down. And it took me a very long time to understand that the idea, and we were told this by our commanders, by the officers, the idea is not just taking the pictures, just writing the things down because everyone throws them away. The idea is to make our presence felt. We don't really care about the house we mapped more than we care about their neighbors. They will start asking questions. Are they collaborators? Does it mean that next time someone's going to map my house? Is there a big operation going now? And that's, you know, every night, every day, 3 times a week. It doesn't matter, but every unit that comes will do it all over again. So a family can be visited twice a year, because no one really needs the security aspects, because the idea is to show them that we are here. We want to control. You don't want us to control. We want to stay here. Remember us.
هاتوا يا تراكتور تعال يلا
فانا هيني يعني انت اسلك حالي هاي السياره تبعتي فان شاء الله هيك الله يبعث لنا هيك رزقه ونشوف شو نسوي فيها.
منيحه ماشي حالها
كويس السياره مسلك حالي فيها ان شاء الله ربنا هيك يفرجها علي واشتري سياره جديده بس
ان شاء الله ان شاء الله.
وانت
لما ربك يفرجها
لما ربك يفرجها ويفرجها علي وعليه
ان شاء الله.
طلع هذا زلمه مش عارف شو بدي اسوي يا زلمه انا.
طب هلا الجدار هذا لما حطوه لورا كيف مش فاهم انا شو يعني.
انا بدي احكي لك شغله واحده. الجدار هذا انبنى في 2002 حلو. بعد ما انبنى الجدار في 2002 الناس بطلت تروح تشوف بعض، يعني الجدار سكر علينا وسكر على الاهالي في القدس.
ايه شباب
فيعني احنا فيش شيء.
مودي كيفكم؟
تعال
هلا يا كيفك يا
ايش نعمل؟
فين الغيبه كيفك؟ شو اخبارك؟ من زمان الغيبه كيفك؟ مودي شلونك؟ زمان وين انتم؟
والله
شو بتسوي؟
شرب قهوه تعال.
يلا نشرب السيارة اخذتها منه معك.
والله لسه معي. اليوم
تعال نشرب قهوه.
يلا نشرب قهوه. بس انا قهوه سكر قليل حبيبي.
قهوه ابوي بيسويها ساده.
طب يلا حلو مش
نشرب قهوه زلمه شو عليك؟
قهوه يا جماعه.
لا لا
I bought his car 2 years ago.
Welcome. Hello.
المهم شرفك انا طلع كل ما يجيني تور بطلع على الخليل بقول والله الله يعينهم كيف معشين في الخليل.
يا زلمه
طلع انا كيف فيش لاجئ مضبوط في جدار بس انا بالله مو احلى.
والله احلى.
بتفضل الخليل ولا بيطلع بشرفك؟
خليل.
وانت قلت والله
احلى بس خليل بالنسبه لي.
ليش؟
خلص.
بس مش حاسس في فريدم حريه؟
بالنهايه الخليل امي يا زلمه شو مالك انت؟
اسمع
انت
احنا
ممكن
جماعه يا عمي انت جماعه بدنا نسوي إشي لمصلحة الشعب الفلسطيني. زي إيش أنتم بتفكروا نسوي إشي هيك؟ يعني نسوي إشي نحيي فيه القضية الفلسطينية، لأن القضية رايحة.
ما تطلع يعني مش تطلع اوكي.
بدنا نحيي هيك، نسوي إشي هيك نحيي فيه القضية. شو رأيك؟ إيش يعني تور نفرجيه الوضع المأساوي اللي بيعيش فيه الشعب في الهبة في الخليل، اخوتنا في الخليل.
ما مبسوط في الخليل.
مش مبسوط، انا بحكي له يفوتهم مش مبسوط، هو بيكذب على حاله، بيكذبش علينا. بس مش اكثر.
مش عارف.
بديش تكذب على حالك، اسمع انا اخوي، انت صاحبي وحبيبي، فاهم كيف؟ وانا بعرفك 4 سنين. اخونا محمد اللي بعرفه بجوز سنه سنتين. فاهم كيف؟ بس انا بدي احكي لك كمان شغله، انا بدي اياه يطلع من المأساة اللي هو موجود فيها، هو موجود في مأساة. هذا الشاب العدم المأخذ غاز اجى في عيني الحين يا شباب.
يا تركيا
يا الله الغاز.
غاز
ما ذات باد كمان.
لا وحياة الله ما بقدرش عليه. انا ما بقدرش عليه بالمره.
جايز اوفر
هاي اسمع. اسمع اثر عليك
التهابات جيوبي زي ما ذبحتني. وحياة الله بشموش انا الغاز.
شو مطر؟ مطر اسحب.
لا بس التهابات الجيوب بقول لك
بس تحط ميه بحرق.
ما حطيتش مي.
طب خلص سيب
من خاري يا زلمه، مش قادر، راسي صار يوجعني.
شرفك
وحياة الله.
عنده التهابات في الجيوب، عنده بيأثر عليها.
بديش برفان. لا بقدر ارفع في برفان. لا
ما يأثر يا زلمه، ما يبغى.
طب سوي ايش؟
خلص
روح غاز من برا.
لا خليك جوا خليك هذا.
طب سكر الباب. نو ستريس خليك هادي
اسمع
حبيبي.
محمود هذيك مرة
الكاميرا مش راح تاكلك، دير بالك، فيش لها تم. خليك هادي.
واحدة فلسطينية مش إرهابية وقالوا عن الحرية بنحارب فلسطين. كل اللي يقول احنا وراكم شعب حرية، شعب نار، احنا بدنا نحرر فلسطين. وين نروح من حرية فلسطينية مش إرهابية. قالوا عنا الحرية، بدنا نموت، بدنا نعيش، بدنا الحين كل الناس. يلا يا يمن.
واو يلا حلو.
قولوا معايا اسم الخليل، بتسمعنا اسم الخليل، سمعنا صوت بيت لحم.
يلا محمد جو.
يلا
بس انت غني شيء حب، غني شيء
غني حب ومن يجمع بين الحب وال شو اسمه ليتر اون.
اوكي. امتى تقابلنا؟ لما الكل كان يلتم حوالين بشرتك السمراء. اول ما تقابلنا ما كانش حب من اول نظره، مره على مره طلعت فيكي جوا وعرفت انك الوحيده اللي حتسوي دربي خضراء، وشوي شوي قربتي اكثر علي، قدمتي لي وفتحتي لي طريق جديد قدام عيني، ورجتيني ان الماضي اللي انا بنيته كان على الفاضي عشان اسسته غصب عني مش بارادتي، بس خليته كله وراي. لما شفتك اني جاي واصحابي اللي حوالي شبهونا بالصحراء والمي، نبقش لبعض، علاقتنا كلها غلط، مع انك الوحيده اللي علمتيني اعالج الغلط بالطريقه الصح. منك صوت البحر ومالي راح، بس من يومك قلبي ارتاح، واليوم حبنا فاح بين الناس.
والله
وين ما يشوفوا اسمك بيشوفوا اسمي، من صحراء ومي صرنا صحراء ورمل. كمل.
بدنا نطلع فلسطين عربية.
אני נדב, שמי נדב ויגלמן, בן 25, גר כיום בחיפה, סטודנט באוניברסיטת חיפה. נולדתי בירושלים, ואני פעיל בארגון שוברים שתיקה כבר מספר שנים.
הולכים ללכת בעיר הפלסטינית השנייה בגודלה בגדה המערבית, ואנחנו כמעט שלא הולכים לראות פלסטין. ואנחנו אומרים בעצם 3 סיבות, 3 גורמים מרכזיים לסיפור הזה, לתופעה הזאת. אז דבר ראשון, מה שיש לכם במפות, הסיפור של ההפרדה. שככל שמתקרבים יותר להתנחלויות, לשכונות הישראליות, ככה הולכים ומגבילים יותר ויותר את התנועה הפלסטינית. בואו ננסה לחשוב איזה השלכה יש לזה ברמה של החיי היום-יום. רוצים לבקר משפחה, רוצים להגיע לבית ספר, רוצים להזמין אמבולנס, רוצים פשוט לקפוץ לחברים או לעשות קניות בשוק. כמו כל דבר עכשיו הוא הרבה יותר מורכב, הרבה יותר קשה, ולפעמים אפילו בלתי אפשרי. ההגבלה השנייה זה כל מה שקשור לשליטה הצבאית. הגורם השלישי זה בעצם כל מה שקשור לאלימות מתנחלים. תקיפה של פלסטין, תקיפה של הצבא גם.
מה עשית כל חיי? הדרך הצהובה הסגולה זה בעצם הדרך מפה עד איפה שהחיילים נמצאים שמה. כלומר, פלסטינים יכולים להיות שם בלי רכב וצהוב, זה אומר אסור לפתוח חנויות. נכון? הוא יראה לך פספורט וזהו, חבר'ה, תירגעו. מה זה תעודת עיתונאי? ככה אתם קשקשים. כי אין לי בעיה שתבקש פספורט, אבל אל תגזימו. מה הקטע שהוא עכשיו אומר לו לבקש תעודת עיתונאים מהעיתונאים האלה? I think one of the events that really was for me very, very significant, very powerful, that it took me a very long time, that actually in my testimony I didn't say them, I only later on, that was very, very strong for me, is that when we had to evict family, Palestinian family, from their house. They lived in the Casbah, which is under direct Israeli control. Their house was just in front to one of the settlements of Avraham Avinu neighborhood. And they started building and they didn't have permission because I guess the Israeli civil administration didn't give them permission to renovate their house and so on. And we gave them warrants to stop building and they didn't stop building. They went on, just renovating inside the house. And at the end, we were like 15 soldiers, had to evict them. There were like these two old people, very poor, haven't done anything bad. And there was so much, fuss there because you have activists that yell at you, you have settlers that yell at you over there, and you evict people from their houses. It was for me always like this red line that I would never cross, and then like that I just cross it. And you hate it, you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, you understand and it's bad, but what's even worse is that you're doing it. And after we finish evicting them, people came and welded down, like soldiers welded down the doors from the outside so they won't be able to go in. I don't know what happened to them at the end, but I think it's just an example of how you get so numb after a while. Even though you understand that it's bad, you understand that it's wrong, you hate what you're doing, you're still doing it. I think it's important to remember that at the end of the day, I wasn't the victim. The victims are the Palestinians. I'm not saying that to be with so much power, it's of course is doing very bad for you, for us as a society. But at the end of the day, the ones that suffer from it, the ones that needs to open one eye when they're sleeping because maybe the army will go into their house, they're the Palestinians. They're not us. I mean, I had my house to get back to, and I could go to sleep, absolutely sure that no soldier will enter my house to a raid, start taking pictures of me and my family. And this is something that Palestinians, and especially in Hebron, they're not going to sleep like that.
سلطان الله يرضى عليك يا رب كيف قدمتوا الامتحان؟ كويس ما كان نص نص هيك صحيح كويس ولا نص نص يلا بعين الله يرضى عليك
كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله عليكم السلام عليكم يا حبيبي
شو الاخبار؟ حكيت مع فايز تبع الارض مساء
يا والله الله السلام عليكم السلام عليكم.
The burial place of Abraham is really one of the holiest places in all of Western civilization. You could even say the birthplace. After Jerusalem and Mount Moriah, one of the birthplaces or the burial places of the founder of Western civilization, the monotheistic concept. And why is it that we're so divided? The reason why the Jewish community is in Hebron, and the reason why there's soldiers and checkpoints from the Jewish community's perspective is because of the need for security, to secure the safety of the 850 Jews who live in the old city of Hebron and the hundreds of thousands of Israelis and religious Jews from around the world that come to the tomb of the Patriarchs and the tomb of Jesse and Ruth and the Avraham Avinu synagogue and neighborhood during the Jewish holidays of Passover, Sukkot, Rosh Hashanah. Hebron is a front line of the Israel-Palestine conflict. Hebron problem will not be solved by itself. It's part of, like I said, a microcosm of Israeli-Palestinian relations. The Jewish people, the Israelis, why did it seem like from the outside world that they're arming themselves to the teeth? Ask anyone, they say, because I'm afraid. I'm afraid for my survival, for my protection, for my safety. It's not to kill or to oppress another people. Palestinians see themselves as oppressed by that.
This is the Jewish port. We take it only 10 days a year. And also they take mosques 10 days a year too.
مالها؟ شو قصتها؟ هذه ورثة من رحمة سيدك لرحمة أبوك لوصلت لنا. شو قصتها؟ وبتعرف منطقة حلوة هذه والكل بحبها، الكل بيطمع فيها.
طبعا هو حسيم وصفها عرض حلو.
شو؟
حسيم مليان بتقول حلوة.
حلوة رغم كل المعاناة. وانت اذا كل منطقة بدهم يسوي عليها حصار بدهم اهلها يخلوها معناته مصيبة. احنا قاعدين لما الله يفرجها. يعني هذا ايش مكتوب علينا. وموعودين في هذا الامور، احنا شو نسوي؟ نستنى لما يجي فرج الله. او لما بدفعوا لنا ال 100 مليون دولار هذا مش منطقة غالية. ايوه يلا I have job. يلا السلام عليكم.